This is the Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage show by Mark Helm. Nothing Mark shares with you guarantees your success in the self-storage business. This is for informational purposes only. There are no calls to action, and nothing said or implied is a call for investment money into self-storage or any other asset class. You are responsible for your success in the self-storage business or any endeavor in life. Enjoy the show, and here is Mark Helm.
Let's complete our conversation about how to organize your automated self-storage facility management organization. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Quickstart Academy, which houses the training that I offer, both free and paid for, free like this, and the courses that I offer. You can find out more about the products and services I have at creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com. But I started last week talking about how I'm reorganizing management operations on projects that I may be involved with, and helping other people organize their management operations. And many of the people I'm working with are doing smaller, more automated facilities. So we started last week with how to put together a management operation to run your own automated self-storage facilities. And where I started was kind of how I think, and how I think is job flow. So we put together a quick organizational chart, and we had three main branches off that organizational chart. And let's take a look at it. So if we have a management operation or management company, basically the three main branches I saw were customer service, property level, and marketing. Last week we talked about the first two branches. If you haven't seen it, there's a link in the YouTube video, or there's a link in the blog at Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, episode 461, and you can watch or read that. Today we're going to talk about the marketing division. So you've got customer service, taking care of the property, and then marketing your property to your customer base. Let's take a look at that. First is we're going to talk about websites. Everything pivots around websites. Then how to manage, or at least how we're organized around managing online marketing, social media, and then events at a local level. In today's world, your website's mission critical. Much of what happens in customer service and much of what happens in marketing all pivots around your website. Everything points to your website. Now, in the past, what I used to do and what we did was we would go to some of the industry vetted website providers that you see in the expo hall at the Inside Self-Storage Convention or the Self-Storage Association. Those vendors are great. They tend to already have all the integrations built into the software that are needed to run an automated facility or even a managed facility, such as integrations to your gate system, your security system, your operating system, credit card processing. All that is already created for you, and you have templates to choose from and populate. The other way that a lot of people are going is the operating system providers, the companies that produce the operating systems we use in our industry. Many of them have like a menu of services you can have, and one of them is websites. So if you're using a particular brand that, say, is owned by Sparefoot, most of those brands, not all of them, but most of those brands will have a website option. Obviously, integrations are already there. It's easy. Most of the people, frankly, I work with use one of those two, either an industry-vetted website provider or the website that comes as an option with your operating system. We're going a different route at the moment, and again, the philosophy behind it is we're trying to go with best of class. It's not that these other websites aren't good, but we believe that no one company can be good at everything. So we're picking the ones that we like the best. And what I have is a consultant who's designed his own websites. And those websites tend to be a lot more functional, or at least we think they are, a lot more functional. And well, we will, as owners, will have more options than going with one of the first two we talked about. So for example, we want to make leasing a unit online extremely easy, less clicks for a customer to go through. And when I'm using one of the other two providers, I don't have the flexibility to redesign their website. Those are templated websites. Our consultant, we can do that. Our consultant has the back-end code to most, not all, but most of the software systems, the gate systems, and he can provide the integrations. And it gives us as owners a little more control and a little more flexibility on the customer experience on our website. I want more control over how the website looks, the calls to action that follow potential customers, or if you're a customer, different calls to action that will follow those customers as they move through our website. I want to be able to embed video wherever I want it. The goal is we want to be able to tweak and upgrade and change the customer experience as we get feedback from our customers, or as we look at the analytics. But whatever route you go, your website is critical. At the very least, your website should allow potential customers to see your facilities. I recommend videos of entering it, putting the code in, going into your system, touring your system, going to a unit, opening the doors. Show the potential customer what it's like to be a customer at your facility. Again, at the very least, people should be able to rent a unit, reserve a unit, pay online. If they are late and pay online, hopefully they can get quick access to their unit. They don't have to wait till the next day for somebody to come and take a lock off. Your website should offer links to put Google reviews up, Yelp reviews. It should make it easy for people to refer business to you. And it should make it easy for them to reach out, however they want to contact you to let you know if they're having a problem. Your website is your storefront today, and it's hard to believe that in today's world, there's still storage facilities out there without a website. Next, online marketing. Somebody needs to be in charge of online marketing. For most small owner-operators, what we see is their website provider handles their online marketing. If that's what you're doing, what kind of results are you getting? I've never been very pleased with my results that I get when I turn it over to a website provider to handle online marketing. Yes, they're good at creating websites, but my experience with the online marketing, particularly the Google pay-per-click, is initially they'll do a search. They'll see what keyword searches are being used in that location. Then they'll tell you, here are your options, aggressive, and they'll give you a higher number, medium or low, and you pay a monthly bill. And all that monthly bill does is pay for the pay-per-click per month. My experience is no one's monitoring those ads on a daily, weekly basis. No one's looking at the Google Analytics until I called them and making tweaks and adjustments to headlines, text, images, offerings that are being there. Yeah, they may try 2 or 3 different offerings to see which one works better, but no one wakes up every morning and their number one job is to figure out what they can do to increase the conversions on the Google Analytics online marketing. So obviously we're not using a website provider. I do have a consultant. I've hired coaches before, but as an owner, I'm very active in working with our vendors on the online marketing. We're constantly testing to see which offering works better, to see which headline works better. Does this image create conversions or more clicks than this image? Constantly working it. Somebody's got to be doing it. And for $300 or $400 or $500 a month, your online provider, one, can't do it at that cost. They're just applying that money, most of it or a percentage of it, goes to Google. So as a small owner, it really falls on you. Now, we're going to probably need a team member or help, but ultimately it's your responsibility. Don't just think because you're paying $500 a month, it's handled. What's interesting is ads that work for one facility in a market rarely work for another facility in the same market that we own. We could have two facilities 5 miles apart. What works at one doesn't work at the other. And the reason is because what has people do conversions to a large degree is a function of the demographics of the trade area. And the demographics of a trade area change every mile or so. And so one offering, one image, one headline in one locality is not going to convert as well in another locality. Somebody needs to be on top of it. We're using a consultant, and as an owner, I and my team members are involved. Now let's talk about social media. Okay, I hate social media. I don't like it. I'm rarely on it. If I spend a minute or to 3 minutes on social media a day, that's a lot. It zaps my energy quickly, and it annoys me, and I'm not very interested in other people's political views. With that said, however, a lot of people are on social media. And if you own a storage facility, you should be on social media too. Specifically, you should show up in your market area. So if you're going to show up in your market area, you need a content strategy for social media. Now, obviously, I'm not the guy to do that content strategy because I don't like being on it. So we pay somebody to do it. Now, with all that said, I have had good success with advertising on Facebook, for example. And where it's particularly effective in storage facilities, I've used it successfully in many of the businesses I'm involved in, but where it's worked well for us in storage is specifically if you're target marketing as a particular interest group. So if you have indoor parking, for example, marketing to people who are involved in auto clubs in your market area, Facebook is awesome for that. If you're trying to market to medical reps, Facebook is awesome for that. Facebook allows you to target your audience very well. Location, interest, there's a lot of effective ways to use Facebook to target a particular audience and run posts and ads to them. Not that I would do this, but I could literally market something to women 32 to 38 years old with more than one child who do yoga and drive upscale cars. If I wanted to get that tight, I could get that tight in Facebook. Facebook's very effective for that. And it's also easy. You run a code or you run a special phone number and you make an offering, and it's very easy to figure out when people convert online or when people show up at your facility with a discount code. You know exactly where it came from, and you can track how effective your online marketing on Facebook is. So I've used it with success, but Google's the number one. But you can use Facebook to target specific audiences and have a content management strategy where you show up to the people in your trade area and have your facility show up there. So just like location's important. We want people who live in our trade area to see our facility. So we're top of mind, and when they need storage and when they go onto Google and see our facility, they say, oh yes, that facility. Social media and Google are your location on the internet. You want to show up online because that's where the majority of your customers are going to start their customer journey to moving in to a facility. So you want to have a good physical location and you want to have a good online location. You can call me old school, but I still like doing local events and showing up in the community. I believe that if I'm going to make a profit in a particular market area, I'm a member of that community, and I need to show up in that community. And what we do is we like to join the business organizations that are involved in that local community. The Nulu Business Association, the Portland Business Association, groups of business owners working together to pass referrals back to each other, support each other. And what we find is we join a local business organization. If you have a manager, it's pretty easy. The manager is the one joining. With an automated facility, yes, it's a little more difficult, but it's either us as owners or a regional person that's working in our management operation will be the face of the company that shows up there. We like to host events at our storage facilities. We like to be part of the local business community. We're referring customers to local businesses, and local businesses are referring customers to us. And as I've stated before in other episodes, we'll take 1 to 3% of our, usually the square footage of our facility, and we will allow nonprofits or charities that service that trade area to be able to use those at no cost or very low cost. And that way we feel like we're giving back to the community where we're making a living, and we're part of that community. So that's some of the main functions that we're organizing and putting together now, newly, in our management operations. And and everything I've said the past 2 weeks is specifically designed for people who are setting their own management operations up for automated facilities. So take anything I've said over these past 2 weeks, use it if you want, change it if you want, and just know that by the time you're seeing this, we very well are doing something a little different. We're probably not utilizing everything I said, or we've added more things, because nothing is changing faster in the storage space, which in itself is evolving fast, but nothing's changing faster than on the operational level. I hope these 2 episodes have given you a helpful view into some of the processes we're setting up in place and thinking about and what we have our attention on. I'd be very curious to hear what you have your attention on if you're setting yours up, and what's working and not working for you on a management level. Feel free to share so everyone can see. And thank you very much. I look forward to being with you next week.